Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for hitting this video and checking it out. I've got a card for you using Jane's Doodles. It's a whale, obviously, orientation. So we have what I believe to be a humpback whale here. We've got a sperm whale, and we've got and I can't pronounce it, a naul, okay, one of those, which you'll see very shortly. I'm keeping the color palette pretty straightforward, but we're going to do a couple of different things to our whales to give them a little bit of interest and a little bit of difference. This one is going to be colored blue violet, but it's so dark. It's going to come up just grey. But if you look at the card, which you can't yet, but if you were to see the card in real life, it's got a little bit more of that blue violet. Obviously, the other two we're going to keep pretty straightforward with some cool greys. So this little dude, we're going to do a little bit of stippling. If you don't know what that is, it's basically little dots. We're not going to do it all over him, but you can see me starting to do it on his, is it a pectoral fin? I think it is. You know, I don't go and say that I know all these things, but you know, I think we've got a pectoral fin. I know I could be killing it. And we've just started to use the stippling on him. Now I am going to put a little bit more around him. They've got all these lines on there underneath. Generally speaking, animals, sea creatures are lighter underneath. And if you don't know, that apparently is because predators, not that these dudes have much of a predator, but predators looking up from inside the sea, down underneath, aren't going to see them quite so much. They're not going to stand out. This is what I've been told. Here I've got a little bit more stippling coming in and darker on top because, you know, looking down, it's supposed to be darker. That's what I've been told. I don't know. Anyway, while you watch me colour that in, it's been a little while since I've spoken to you because we're painting a house and ready to get some carpet, and I have a 2-story house, and with my husband working and me working, painting doesn't get done very, very quickly. Anyway, let's go back to America. So I was in Reno last time I spoke to you about it, which was quite a while ago. We were about to fly to Vegas. So we won't talk about airlines or anything else because, you know, that could be controversial. Here's our naul, I don't know. Here's our next little creature. Words are hard. This one, I'm going to do the cool greys, but we're going to come back and we're going to do a different texture. We'll come back to him in a little bit. And we were meant to fly out about, I don't know, about 8 o'clock or something like that. 7 o'clock, we get a notification. Your plane is delayed by an hour or something like that. Maybe it was 7 o'clock and got delayed to 8 o'clock. I can't remember. Anyway, as we're waiting, I don't know, 30 minutes later on, it comes back, your flight is cancelled. Okay, we have accommodation booked in Vegas. But anywho, so this caused a little bit of drama, just trying to get hold of the people that we need to get hold of. I didn't book it. My aunt booked it. So unfortunately, she sort of had to do the ringing and you know, my cousins, of course, helped. But it was a little bit stressful for her, a little bit stressful for all of us. But, you know, I don't like to sit around and not do anything. But honestly, there was not much I could do about it. So in the end, we got there. Yay. And we flew out very next morning. But this was cool. Okay, let's go back. So I've got a little rag here. I've got some isopropyl, which here in Australia is just over the chemist. We can't get anything too high, although there was someone that told me you can actually get a little bit higher somewhere, but I can't remember where that was off the top of my head. I've just dabbed that over my little guy, and we're going to let him dry. So he's going to have a real mottled sort of look to him. This guy, what I'm pretty sure is a sperm whale, he's going to be coloured pretty straightforward with the cool greys you can see up there in the corner. So I went to bed that night and I woke up stinking hot, like really, really hot, and threw all the covers off and went back to sleep. Then I woke up. I don't know what time this was. Then I woke up and I was shivering. I was absolutely shivering, shaking, shivering. And I'm like, what is going on? Am I getting sick? I can't get sick. I'm only here for a short period of time. I can't get sick, people. Anyway, so I went back to sleep. Put the covers back over me, of course, went back to sleep and got up, had a shower. I looked out the window and I'm like, oh my goodness, there's snow on the ground. Reno's weather is crazy town. It was so much fun. It was just crazy town. So even though we had this little problem, it worked out to be fun because otherwise I wouldn't have experienced what I did in that night sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like silver lining. So we've coloured and we've cut out all our little whales. We're going to colour in. We've got the V17 and V15 and blue B05 and B02. Finished trimming off. We're just going to use a little bit of glue and put our little hats on our whales because why not? Now, there is a bit of a line in that one because I was trying different things when I printed all these out. We're going to hide it. You're not going to see it. She's cool. It'll be good. So that was fun. So, yeah, we went to Vegas. My aunt and my mum and we had a ball. And they would go back to the hotel for a bit of a rest, and I shoot down and walk down another area. So let's get back to this. I made a right royal mess of this all over my work surface. Not the actual card, but all over the work surface. We've got Ranger's Cloudy Blue, the Pearl Celestial, and I've also got Couture Creations Aqua for some nice little light blues. I'm trying to sort of keep it relatively liney. Is that a word? But that's what we're going to do. But you can see I've got some splattered in the top right hand corner going off my... that's what I'm trying to show you. I got it everywhere, mate. Absolutely everywhere. This is a thin piece of cardstock because the Yupo it's synthetic paper. So it's very, very thin. So we're going to make it a little bit stronger. A white gel pen just to provide some dots over our little hat. And I have trimmed off his fluffy bit at the top just to be a little bit different from the other one. Some clear packaging. We're just going to cut that up to be roughly the size that we need. Now, don't get rid of your packaging because, try this. Give this a try. I've got sentiments from Jane's Doodles. These I've just printed out a whole heap and just cut them up to whatever I want. I'm leaving I will show you, but it's going to be hard to see, the very edge near, right there, the very edge near the edge of the Yupo paper. It doesn't have any foam in it because of the shaker element, because we're doing a whole card front of a shaker element. So he's going to squash down and it's going to be awesome. Using some foam dots for this little guy, and we're going to do a mixture between the other ones. So the rest of my trip was pretty, and it was really, really good. We went to a sanctuary out of Reno. We went to Virginia City. Oh my gosh, you guys love your guns. As an Australian, who we have pretty strict gun rules. It's pretty eye-opening. So anyway, this is stuff I've had in my stash for quite a while. It's magic scraps. Now, I think it was actually given to me many, many moons ago, way before COVID and everything else. It's almost like gold leaf, right? But thicker. So it's not quite so flyy and everything else, but it's still pretty thin. So all different shapes and sizes, sort of like shattered glass, but I don't know what it is. So I've glued some of it down just because it was fun. And I've got some gem flakes from Paper Rose as well, and I've glued some of those down. I'm going to tape up my back so we can make our shaker. This is going to go onto another card, so I'm not terribly worried. Trim off our little extra on a corner. That way it will be nice and flat. Now we're going to fill it up a little bit more. I'm not doing an awful lot because I feel like it's sort of like throwing confetti, like they're having a real party in the sea. Is it strictly true? Like it's going to happen? Of course. No, but it's my card and it's fun. It's fun. So we only really need to put it on our card base and that is done. So yeah, the rest of the trip was pretty uneventful, but amazing, wonderful, so much fun. I actually had a dream. I told my aunt the other day I had a dream, and then I stayed at my cousin's house and surprised her. So who knows, dreams come true. That's it for today. I hope you're well. Take care. Talk soon. Bye.